There you go. Hi, everybody. It's Ann again, and I'm here with Chrissy Cearlock, and I'm super excited. Actually, Chrissy, I do have to tell you, I've been calling you Chrissy Ray for the longest time.
Oh, no, Chrissy. So Cearlock is my husband's last name, but my last name is actually still right. So it's totally.
Okay.
Totally
okay,
fine.
good. Because I'm so confused. I want to make sure that I get it right. So Chrissy is from Pongos Learning Lab, and I want to tell you why I chose to have her on today, and then she'll tell us what she does and why she's so good at it. I wanted to have her on, first of all, because she's the one who told me about StreamYard. That was one of the things that really, I was like, well, it's not fair for me to do these and not, bring her on because she should get all the credit here. But also because, Chrissy, you adapt faster than anybody I know. And just coming into Pongos itself, coming into the storefront, it is just amazing to see what you've grown. So I knew that you could offer more, but also how you've adapted here is just huge. So can you tell us what you do, what your expertise is, and why it's so important right now?
Sure. So Pongos Learning Lab is a STEM education center, and it's only part of what we do. So we do classes and camps and edutainment for kids, but I also have another side to the business called Pongos Interactive. And with Pongos Interactive, we build websites and mobile apps for clients. And I would consider myself a technology early adapter. So I'm constantly, not just for Pongos Interactive, but also for the Learning Lab, I'm constantly looking for new things to show people how to use. So we do a little bit of both. We're both implementers and also learners.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good way of describing yourself. But both the implementers and the learners, but also the early adapter, because you always know stuff way before I know it. And I feel like I'm on that. I'm always looking for new things, but you always find them way before I find them. So it's really fun to watch. So, all right. So you have adapted a lot during this time. Mm-hmm. Because you had all the kids coming in, right? And you can't do that right now. Clearly, we can't do that right now. So how have you adapted? What are some of the things that you've done so far?
So the first thing that we've done, we've taken our classes online, and in order to do that, we've had to do teleconferencing. So the big one, teleconferencing, we use Zoom with some of the classes, and it depends on if we need interaction from the kids or not. So generally, when we do need interaction from the kids, we will use something like Zoom. I also have a GoToMeeting account, which is similar to Zoom. It's 6 of one, half dozen of another for that. And then we also sometimes will use Google Hangouts for interaction with the kids.
Okay.
Don't need interaction with the kids if we just broadcast, which is actually, from a privacy perspective, is actually better. You generally, unless the parents give consent, you don't want to have that interaction with the kids, especially if you're recording it, because that's there's a law called COPPA. I can't remember what it stands for, but it basically says that a parent has to give explicit permission. They have to grant explicit permission for you to use personally identifying information about their children. So things like their name, their picture, and stuff like that.
Okay.
So we don't want to get around that, but we want to make sure that we're still able to provide the content to the kids without violating that. So we are getting explicit permission from the parents to use Zoom when the kids are interacting with Zoom. But if there is a case where we're not doing that, then we're using something like StreamYard, which is what we're using right now, or we'll do a Facebook Live. In the Facebook Live, the parents are the ones that have to interact with us, not the kids.
Okay.
And then sometimes we'll do YouTube live streams, which is another option that you have. So those are really good if you want to be able to give the information, but not necessarily have the interaction with the audience as much.
Okay. So give me some examples. I know you're doing one right now where you're interviewing people and different jobs, right? Mm-hmm. I know that's one, but what are some of the other things that you're doing?
I actually did a live stream of me playing Minecraft. And I invited kids to come into Minecraft and play with me. And yesterday we actually did so we have a Minecraft club. It's on Mondays and it's free. If you go to our Facebook page, Pongos Learning Lab, you can get the information for it. But the kids, it's just for the kids to get together and play Minecraft. So the kids are all in the same Minecraft server, and we do build challenges in there. And for that one, we're actually using Zoom. So we are getting permission from the parents, and we're using Zoom. and the kids are all logging in so they can actually see each other and talk to each other while they're playing.
Oh, that's really cool. I love that. I love that.
One example of it.
Yeah.
But another thing that I've been doing is I did a tutorial on how to do stop motion animation. And I just did a Facebook Live with that. I didn't need the kids' feedback for it. I just needed to show them how to do it. So something like that would be good for using live streaming on Facebook or on YouTube.
Okay. And then you're doing some things for adults too. So you did, I know a couple of weeks ago, you did something on introduction on building an app. Mm-hmm. So what other classes have you been offering for adults?
We're doing WordPress crash course.
Okay.
So it's just, we do most of the web development that we do is in WordPress. And so I do occasional, it's like a 90-minute to 2-hour crash course where people learn everything that they need to know to be just a little bit dangerous in WordPress and make their own website. I also did a pre-recorded video of how to make a website, an online learning website. So I'll do tutorials anytime I think of something that I think will be useful, especially right now where people are trying to get their businesses online. Then I'll post things like with a tutorial or a video of how to do it when possible.
Okay. Yeah, no. And it's been really fun to watch you do it. It's been, and again, I'm watching my clients trying to figure out how to go online. And you just talked about Park Home. You're helping them with a website. I think if you can take it online, not only, I think it's great for right now, but it's also when you're done with this, you've got a whole new stream of income. Right. Exactly. I think it's really, it's very, very helpful. So we were just talking about before we came on that even the healthcare industry is moving that way. And they've got more things to consider, but it's really cool to watch that they are moving that way. As a matter of fact, my mom has an appointment with a doctor this morning, and she's doing it over telehealth.
Yeah.
So, all right, tell me how you're working with what you're doing with social media right now.
So a lot of our streams have been on Facebook Live. It's a really good way to interact with the people pretty immediately. So we usually will say, comment your questions or comment your name. Or I actually did a live stream with the Easter Bunny this morning on the Pongos Learning Lab. We're going to do it again tomorrow and Thursday at 9 a.m. So parents could come in and watch with their kids, and the Easter Bunny will write a message to the kids as they're watching.
Oh, that's great.
So with the social media, it's a really good way to interact immediately with the clients and with the customers. In our case, to interact with the parents who have the kids sitting there watching with them.
Right.
So that's what with our interview series that we've been doing. It's called the Cool Jobs interview series. So we're interviewing people that have really cool jobs that we think that kids will be interested in. And one of the things that we do is when we broadcast it on Facebook Live, parents can ask questions on behalf of their kids. So, for example, we had an interview with a vet technician last week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was really fun. And the kids were able to ask their questions and ask, is a ferret a good pet? Or what kind of animals have you worked with? And I could relay those to the person that I'm interviewing.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's really a big thing. And the live feedback that you can get is really helpful. One of the nice things about StreamYard, the service that you're using right now, is you can broadcast to more than one place at a time. So we broadcast these now. We got some feedback from a parent who has a Girl Scout, and the Girl Scouts are going to be watching these interviews, especially the ones with women, because one of their badges is to interview a woman. And so they're actually using these to help them earn their badge while they're home during this COVID-19 crisis. So they're making the best of a bad situation and using these interviews as a way to earn something from the Girl Scouts. So I thought that was pretty cool.
I think that's really cool. Yeah.
They sent me some questions to ask on the next one that I do.
So actually right now, you said you've been doing it on Facebook and then YouTube as well. Mm-hmm. I am doing it on Facebook and Twitter. I haven't done it to YouTube yet. But I looked at one thing that I found interesting, and I don't know why I didn't notice this before. You have to apply to do it on LinkedIn. So I've applied, but I haven't heard anything back. So we'll see, whether I can add LinkedIn eventually or not. But it would be nice as a business owner to be able to do that, I think.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So and especially for your interactive part, I think.
Right.
So,
right.
All right. And then you talked about using your websites or using websites right now during this time.
Yeah, this is especially important for businesses, because if you don't already have a website, you need to have one to be able to share information with your customers about what you're doing, what your policies are. I have several websites as a web developer, so we've been sharing information about the status of the business over not just social media, but also on the websites. One of the other things that we're doing with some of our customers and some of our clients is we're helping them get their products online. So you mentioned Park Home earlier. We're helping her create an e-commerce website so she can sell while her store is closed. She can sell her products online. So she's still making some money while her store front is closed.
Right. Yeah, no, and it's so important. And, I'm watching my different businesses, but one thing is people want to support businesses right now, and you need to make it easy for them to do that. Right. Mm-hmm. Actually, hold on. We have a comment. Let's see who has come. Oh, so I love this feature, by the way, that you can put up what the comments are that they make. So Helen is probably one of our biggest supporters. She's always on and always really paying attention to what we do. But I think if we can use our websites as a way to make it easier for them, whether that means they can do gift cards on there so that they can sell their gift cards, or they can sell actual products, or, this is something I've been talking about recently, which is if you don't want to have people in your home right now, you don't want to have people come out and, maybe you don't even want to take your car, whatever it is, you can still help those businesses. So we talked about Lauren Gerlach over at Challenger. They're picking people's cars up, which is really, really cool. But they can also sell services online and say, come back in after the fact, so that you're still supporting that business right now. Or make an appointment for May or June, whenever you think that we're going to be back out of this. Right. So I think there's so many ways. You just have to make it easy for them by having it on your website, having a way for them to do this.
Yeah. Yeah, so. And especially, I would say the younger generation, I hate to use the term, but millennials and younger generation, they tend to like to do things electronically. Rather than calling someone, they're going to make an appointment on the website. So
right.
especially if that is part of your audience, you want to make it as easy as possible. You are going to get people that are going to want to call or email to make those appointments for the future, or to buy the gift cards or products or anything like that. You might get those as well. But you are going to get a lot of people who are going to want to purchase it directly with the website. So you don't even need to have that human interaction to make that purchase.
Do you have a service or an app, or you always have something, what is it called? A plugin that you like in particular for scheduling?
We do most of our stuff with WordPress. And so if somebody's purchasing, booking online, there's actually several extensions to do that with WordPress. We also use Calendly. So if somebody is trying to schedule an appointment with us, we use Calendly. It's Calend, Calend.com.
Yes, exactly.
And I think you use that as well, don't you?
I love it. It has, what it's done is, and this was way before we, and you too, this is way before this ever happened, but it gives you the chance to not go back and forth with somebody, right? Right. It's so nice not to have to go back and forth on times. Somebody calls and says, can you do Wednesday? Well, I could, but I just booked that. How about this day? And you're always, it just saves so much time. So I want to show you a comment because I like it. Kim just said, I just shared Pongos online program with all my friends who are teachers, so they have more support with their own kids learning. I love that Chrissy took her stuff online. So Chrissy's another one. Kim is another one of those who really is a great supporter of local women in business. And it's nice to see that. So yeah. And Jessica Koch is on here as well. So that's nice.
Yeah.
So let's go back to, I'm sorry. I told you one of the things I like, the banners are neat that they pop across the bottom, but honestly, they help my brain remember what we're talking about next. Right. All right. So e-learning.
So as you mentioned earlier, we took pretty much everything for Pongos Learning Lab online. So I spent about a day building a website called pongosonline.com. and it's got classes. Right now, it's mostly classes for kids. We are also adding classes there for adults. So like the WordPress crash course that I mentioned, I'm working on recording a video for that so I can upload it and make it available all the time. So if people can't make our lives, our live broadcasts, then they can just watch it whenever they have time. But we also we're adding live courses there. So I mentioned earlier our Minecraft club where kids can log in and they log into a private Minecraft server and they play Minecraft with other kids. We're also doing tonight, we're doing a Coder Kids Club. And again, it's going to be a combination of Zoom where the kids can actually watch me write some code, and they're going to be able to follow along and do the code themselves as well. And then on Wednesdays, we're going to do YouTube Stars, where we actually teach the kids the process of planning, recording, and editing their own YouTube videos. Now they're too young to technically upload them, but their parents can upload it for them when they're done with their videos. But we're going to show them how to do it. And all of that was done using a combination of WordPress plugins. And it took me about a day to do. There are lots of platforms out there to do this. There's multiple WordPress plugins to do this. I think when I added up all the plugins, I think it cost about $600, a little under $600 worth of plugins to do it for my website. But there are other plugins out there that can do it for less. And then there are other platforms. I believe you said you're using Teachable.
I am trying to use Teachable. Actually, that's my next question for you. So the sound has gotten messed up, but my next question is, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. The next question is, can you help people do that? Because I started doing it and then I'm like, I think I'm messing this up. So I think I will call you after we're off of this and say, help, take this and show me what to do. So, but you can help. Let me ask a couple of questions because I have people over here asking. Tiffany said, by the way, she said, I really enjoyed doing the interview about my job with Chrissy, and she made it so easy. I encourage any woman who has a cool job to do an interview. I think it's really great. And Tiffany definitely has a cool job. Being a vet tech that actually will come into your house and help is so huge. And for you and me in particular, we love our dogs. So, all right. Kim just put up, this is so cool. She put up your link just so people would have it. Somebody else asked a question. Oh, Jessica said, what software we're using to go live. So we're using StreamYard. Is there anything else, any other one that you really like?
StreamYard is the only one that I've used. I found it and I really loved it. So I haven't really been looking for other stuff yet. I'm sure there's other software out there that does the same thing. So before I found StreamYard, I was halfway thinking about using like 2 different devices to go live on 2 different platforms, because that was one thing that I did want to do, was be able to go on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. And I showed you a little bit of my setup earlier. I've got 2 screens. I've got a webcam, another separate webcam that I can use. And I could broadcast multiple. I could broadcast probably 3 places at once if I needed to. But this is just so much easier. And it's relatively inexpensive for the paid version.
Yeah, it's funny. I think it's a great resource. You said that though. I was going live, but I wasn't using 2 different devices. I was actually doing the same live twice. Once on Twitter, once on Facebook. And mostly because I kept finding that I didn't know where to look. So I was like, I'll just do it that way. So when this came along, it was perfect timing. There are a lot of questions coming in, so that's really good. Patty just said, I so appreciate both of you giving us your gifts of knowledge, skills, caring, and curiosity. She is so great. Patty's really, she does a great job with everything that she does. Let's see. Chrissy helped me. Lise, I don't know what she says. Chrissy helped me set that up. Does she mean StreamYard or help? Yeah. Okay.
StreamYard, yeah. And Lisa's from Annapolis Moms, and so they've been using the StreamYard to do their Facebook Lives on Annapolis Moms.
Okay. Oh, I haven't even seen that they were doing that. Yeah. I can't keep up with everybody. There's so many. And then Facebook seems to like the software, the Streamline. So yeah, I mean, they're actually showing it to people, whereas I'm not sure Twitter. I do think Twitter is not showing it live from when it's streaming through here, as well as they're doing it if you go straight to there. I'm still watching it to see what it does, but it does seem to not be working quite as well on Twitter as it is there. Also, actually, so I did tag you on Twitter, but I didn't tag you personally. Do you have a Twitter account over there for yourself?
Yeah, I can't remember what it is. I think it's Chrissy Ray, but I'm not positive.
Okay.
It might be Ray Chrissy. I don't remember.
Okay. Well, no, and it's not, I don't think it's Chrissy Ray because I looked that up. I tried that one. It's funny because I am Britton and Annie everywhere, but I think it's because I started this, Twitter and Facebook basically the minute it came out. And so I was able to keep my Britton and Annie, that it was my original Hotmail name.
Oh, right.
So that was a long time ago. So, all right, let's go down. I want to give all your information here so people can get in touch with you. If they need help getting set up with any of this stuff, you can help them with any of this then. Yes. And just so you guys know, I use Chrissy a lot. I refer to her a lot. I think that she's got knowledge I don't have, and she's got expertise that goes beyond what I do. I do build websites, but I build in Squarespace with a way to let me build something that you can take and you can move on and do without any real technical ability whatsoever. If you come to me and say, I can't do anything on the computer, I can still do that. But you build what I consider to be better websites, bigger websites. And you do that, mostly through WordPress. So I refer to her all the time for that. She's my partner in that. And a lot of other things, actually. I trust her in everything. And you just heard me say, can you help me with Teachable? So it's really important. So you can get in touch with her at Chrissy@Pongos.com, or you can call her at 301-789-1815. Do you have any other tips for helping people to get through this time?
Well, the first big thing is ask for help. I do free 30-minute consults with people. So if you just want to sort of ask, am I doing the right thing? Am I going down the right path? I'm totally happy to do that with people. I've done that with several people because sometimes you think you have the technology that you need, but it may not. It may be pieced together. It might not be the right software for you. So I'm happy to consult with that. So, send me an email. I'll probably send you my Calendly link to set up a 30-minute consult for that. But that's definitely one of the first things that you can do. I also do, and I'll post a link to this when we're done. So if anybody wants it, but I have a Facebook group called Get Your Business Online, and feel free to post questions in there. Please do. I'm happy to answer them. Sometimes I can't go into a huge amount of detail, but ask the questions that get asked on there. A lot of times I will do a Facebook Live, or I'll record a video that's not necessarily live, but I might record a video to do a tutorial on how to do something. So anytime people ask me a question, especially if it's a question that I get asked multiple times, I tend to try to make a video about it so that people can learn how to do it.
And I think that's one of the things that attracted me to you in the first place, is that you just do it, which is, to me, a big thing. I think I told you this a few weeks ago, that I thought that part, my family calls me send it, because I'm like, yeah, send it, just do it, it's good. But I thought that was a character flaw for the longest time. And I've come to realize that it's not. And it's really good if you have that ability to go and do more, to go and just say, oh, you know what? I'm going to put that out there. I'm going to not think about it for 4 days and then put it out there. I have the idea right now. I'm going to put it out there and get it going. And you do that so well. So.
Well, I have to, because if I think about it for 4 days, I won't do it.
Right. That's how I feel too. If I think it through and I go, oh, all these things can go wrong. Right. Yeah. So, all right. Do both or either of you have a list of PDF favorite programs, apps, websites for learning, et cetera, that you can share with us? I don't, but that's such a great idea. Yeah. Yeah. Do you have one?
I don't. But I do. I do have a blog. So if you go to the Pongos.com website and go to the blog, we post a lot of the software that we use in there. So it's not like a list all in one place. You have to actually look at multiple blog posts. But part of why we want people to do that is because a lot of times we'll compare two different softwares. So we'll compare two different programs. Like two different learning management system plugins that we use.
Yeah, that your blog is really, really good. I like it a lot. Kim has a question, and I don't know the answer to this. So she says, do you find it limiting with StreamYard that people need to register before they can comment? That you have to register if you're trying to comment through Facebook?
Only if you're in a group. So if you're doing like right now, people don't have to register to comment, but it does require you to register if you're in a group, and that can be a little bit limiting. And it's really because of privacy on groups. Not all groups are public, and the Facebook stream, especially if you're streaming more than one place, the video is going to be public.
Okay, that makes sense. Kurt Jackson spoke up too, and he says, "You're both wonderful. Thank you so much for doing this. I love it when people give us compliments, so we have to put that up." So this is actually another one of my favorite things. Let's see, WordPress Learning Management System is what I have. That's Kim. I know Jessica said that. So, all right, what is that? I don't know what that is.
WordPress has several learning management systems. They're plugins. So the one that I'm using on the Pongos Online website is LearnDash.
Okay.
There's another one called Lifter LMS. There's a whole bunch of them. But
okay, so this is for sort of like in comparison to Teachable. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. And I don't have a WordPress site. I'm still using a Squarespace site. And eventually I'm going to have you fix that. Actually, I will tell you one of the things I just got out of this that had not occurred to me. I don't have an events page on my website. And that would be a really good thing to update on a regular basis with these kind of broadcasts that we're doing. So I think it's a really good thing to do. All right. So let me tell everybody, thank you, Chrissy, so much for coming on. I really, really appreciate it. I'm trying to do these every day, and it's actually easier than I thought to find people to come on because we have so many great businesses here. And so many of them are adapting so well. So tomorrow I am bringing on Narette Roddy, and she is going to talk about health and fitness during this time. You've been on your own health and fitness journey. How's that going? How are you doing?
I'm not going to the gym now. So.
I know, right? I know. Yeah. Are you getting outside to walk?
Yeah, we're trying to get out. We have 4 dogs, so they need to be walked and exercised every once in a while, and so we're doing that.
Good.
But we're still eating we're trying to eat as well as we can.
Good. It's hard. The eating thing's always hard, I think, for me. But I think it's important to exercise, which is why I wanted to, this first week, make sure I got somebody in here to talk about exercise, because I think it's so important, not just for us, physically, but also mentally. I know if I don't work out, if I don't go out and get my walk in, I'm going to be a lot crankier by, 6:00 at night. Nobody wants to have dinner with me. So anyway, Chrissy, thank you so much for coming on this. And again, thank you so much for telling me about this. Actually, one more comment. Let's see what it is, just so. Okay, so she says that one has no monthly fee. I'll go back and answer some of these comments online. And that is probably my tip of the day is if you're doing something like this, even after you're done, even if you've answered the questions verbally, you should go back and answer the questions online, because I think the more interaction you have, the more Facebook is likely to show it to other people. And if you guys can share this and then share anything that Chrissy's doing as well, I think it's helpful, not just to help us, but also do the same thing with other businesses right now. It's a really easy way to help people through this time.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Actually, you want to give a tip of how to help another business? Do you have one that we haven't mentioned?
I think we mentioned most of them. But what you were saying is sharing everything, as many things as possible, but also commenting on, so not just sharing, but commenting on the stuff that you share is helpful. And I think you had said it needs to be at least 4 words. Yeah,
that came up. I learned it. I belong to Social Media Marketing Society. And it says you have to have at least 4 words. So not, if you type great job, it doesn't work quite as well if you say something like, man, this was really valuable information. Thank you. And make it something that people can respond to. Even if they're just responding back a little bit, it helps for you guys to have a conversation, because Facebook pushes you up in the ranking. So anyway, all right. Hey, Chrissy, thank you so much. We're meeting right after this. So I'll call you in just 1 minute.
All right.
Okay, thanks. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.